how long does MOTS-c stay in your system? So people ask this question all the time because MOTS-c, it can have some side effects. There can be some dangerous things about it. It is very immunogenic. And that's one of the reasons why we don't see a lot of the human data coming out, but there is quite a bit of it. It goes by another name. But if you look at the half-life of this peptide, what that means is how long does it take to get out of your blood circulation. And so a half-life is half of the time that it takes to get out of it. So if you think about how long does MOTS-c last, this gap is enormous because what we found is that it's the key to understanding how to use MOTS-c effectively. So today we're going to jump into some of the pharmacokinetics. We're also going to go deeper into the biology of what MOTS-c is, and then we're going to show how it can actually be used and how we're looking at it as a potential exercise therapy. But it is also something that can regulate your energy production, your glucose regulation, and your body makes it. So I'll give you some tips at the end on how you can produce MOTS-c on your own. So to understand the background of it, MOTS-c, there's this misconception that runs through most of the conversation about peptides and the duration of effect. So half-life is the time it takes for the concentration of a compound in the bloodstream to decrease by 50%. So a short half-life means the compound is cleared quickly from circulation. A long half-life means it persists. Simple enough, but here's what most people confuse. Clearance from circulation is not the same as cessation of effect. Now this is a critical distinction because we're upgrading your operating system. Peptides just go in and they're expressing different genes. And if you think about how peptides work, they don't just float in the blood doing nothing. They actually bind to receptors and they're activating signaling cascades and triggering changes in your gene expression. These downstream effects, the gene regulation, the protein synthesis, the enzyme activation, they have their own timescales that can be completely independent of how long the original peptide molecule is circulating. And the peptide is just like a key that unlocks the door. And once that door is open, the key can leave. But most doctors are prescribing peptides like MOTS-c or BPC 157 or GLP-1s forever. And they think, oh, it's a good peptide, you may as well stay on it. But really, once you've unlocked it, if you've got the lifestyle, and that's just where like getting in the sauna is going to activate heat shock proteins, which increases your own MOTS-c, getting at least 20 minutes of exercise a day, that also turns on your MOTS-c by about 400 to 500%. And then you're going to maintain that pipeline. But if you get metabolically damaged or you have metabolic dysfunction, MOTS-c can just help clean up those pathways. And so if you think of these peptides, they're working on the transcription factor and gene regulatory networks. And because of the gene expression changes, this level can persist for days, weeks, months. So you don't have to stay on them your whole life. But here's the caveat and the disclaimer is that once you start using peptides, I found I felt so good, I just wanted to keep pulsing different peptides based on what I was doing from a lab data, from what my blood work showed, and then also from what my physical fitness goals were, mental goals, stress goals were. So MOTS-c, the half-life is approximately 1 to 2 hours. And this is interesting because if you look after exercise, you're going to see this spike in MOTS-c, and you'll see that spike, it will persist. You'll be able to sense increased levels of MOTS-c 5 to 6 hours until they fall to near baseline. So that's pretty good. And so MOTS-c, if you're using it exogenously as an injection, you'll see about the same. You're going to see a nice little increase in what it does in your body, but that increase is going to give you about a 2 to 3 hour pulse and bump, and then it will ease back down. And why is this? Well, because MOTS-c, it enters your cell and in the muscle cells specifically and activates the AMPK signaling. AMPK activation is not a transient event. It triggers a downstream cascade of phosphorylation events. It changes the enzyme activities and alterations in gene transcription. You get GLUT4 transportation. That means you can get glucose into the cell without the presence of insulin. Once GLUT4 gene expression is upregulated, those transporters are they're produced, they're trafficked to the cell membrane, and they remain active for a time frame measured in hours or days based on your health, not minutes. And so these metabolic pathways that are opened up by MOTS-c, you're going to see an amazing level of this fatty acid oxidation. You're going to see this gene get turned on called PGC1 alpha, so you get more mitochondrial biogenesis. And it's like you've got a new set point for your overall physical fitness. If you imagine, you push a boulder to the edge of a hill, it's going to take a lot of effort to get it there. But once it's at the edge and it starts rolling down the hill, then it's momentum. And that's what I love about peptides, because if you pulse peptides in the right way, if you look at the pathways that are blocked, and this is what we call the peptide pathway bypass, and what we've learned is that there's genes that are underexpressed, and you can look at your lab values and understand what genes aren't working properly, and then you can apply the right peptide structure to those genes, and you can turn on this whole cascade of physiological events. For example, I talked about enhanced GLUT4 expression. You get better mitochondrial efficiency. They're going to be talking to each other more. You're going to get this upregulated metabolic enzymes. And this is yours to keep. It's not like you have to keep using MOTS-c. MOTS-c is, it's an exercise-induced mitochondrial regulator, and it does help with physical decline as we age. And so if you think about kind of the first principles thinking is consistency is more important than a single dose. And a lot of people are like, in looking at the research on MOTS-c, what we found is just little pulses for 30 to 60 days can help increase that peak circulating levels, as long as you're exercising, you're training, and you're also eating really healthy foods. And this adaptation, just like when you put stimulus on your body, you start seeing changes in your body composition. It doesn't happen from a single maximal effort, it happens over time. And so in practice, what this looks like is, you can do it daily or maybe once a week, depending on what you're looking to accomplish. And this is where more human data will be coming out. So the other thing that you want to look at is if you're exercising and you're increasing your MOTS-c, you want to open up as much of that metabolic and GLUT4 transportation as possible. And so after 20 minutes, if your MOTS-c levels can increase by 400 to 500%, well, jump into the sauna, because when you get in the sauna, those heat shock proteins get activated, and now you're getting more MOTS-c. The other thing is the Japanese people who live longer, generally, also have more circulating MOTS-c. So the other thing you could do is become Japanese, and that's where I'm going to Japan in a couple of weeks. Can't wait to be there, but hopefully I come back with greater levels of MOTS-c circulation. So think about anything that makes you sweat, a little bit of exercise, some cardio, jump rope, those things all help improve your MOTS-c. And then anytime you can build muscle, because MOTS-c is found primarily in the muscle cells, now you're going to see more circulating levels of MOTS-c. And when you're thinking of MOTS-c as a myostatin inhibitor, it also can help osteoporosis. So doing things that put some weight on your bones and help with bone mineral density can also help your free circulating levels of MOTS-c. If you're somebody who's looking to go deeper, you want a customized exercise program and a predictable peptide pathway based on your labs that's got medical oversight, all you need to do is go to agelessfuture.com, and my team can talk to you about our accelerator program, our ultimate program, or maybe our limitless program if you're somebody who really cares about their health and you're willing to do the diagnostics and you want to go deep and you don't want to leave any stone unturned. It's a phenomenal opportunity that exists nowhere else outside of Ageless Future. And if you love this video, please subscribe, leave a comment below on your experience with MOTS-c. Can't wait to meet you in person someday. I'm Regan Archibald. I'll see you on the next video.